everyone, welcome to Minutes with MACHE. My name is Ruth Brinker. I'm MACHE's social media coordinator, and with me today is
Molly Oppoven.
Molly, and Molly is the instigator of this. Like, she's like, let's do a Facebook Live, and I'm like, no. So she is our instigator of Minutes with MACHE, and we are just looking forward to spending some time with you today and talking about what parents need to do when they pull their kids from school. So, it's February, like some people pull their kids after Christmas, but could be considering now. And so Molly has some great tips for us on what to do when they decide to pull their kids. So let's say they parent and remove their child from public school or private school. What do they need to do?
Well, first of all, I'd say, yay, you can do this. And
Yes.
if you're a parent, you are qualified in Minnesota to homeschool your children. So we are excited to come alongside you today and just offer some first nuts and bolts of getting started. And I would say one of the most important things to do is to familiarize yourself with the Minnesota statutes so that you're in compliance with the laws. And we have condensed what you need on the mache.org website under the tab Minnesota Law. So it's really easy to find. And please review those in your spare time. And then if you really want to see the law in its entirety, you can go to revisor.mn.gov. So to homeschool in Minnesota, we are required to send a letter of intent to the superintendent of the district we are residing in. And it's by October 1st of each school year. There are initial letter of intent forms, and there are forms for continuing to homeschool for subsequent years. And these forms are available for your use on the mache.org website under the tab Minnesota Law. So if this next year you are going to begin homeschooling and your child turns 7 on or before the October 1st of the school year, you would need to file your initial letter of intent. And we just want to say, use the MACHE forms because those were specially prepared for you, and it's just exactly what you need to report, nothing more. And like I was saying to Ruth, I've seen some of the forms that the district sends out, and they ask for things that we really don't need to submit. Like one of them was even, your students' phone numbers. And so it's like, why would we want to give those up? And so just be really careful with what forms you use and use the ones we've provided. On Facebook over the last few weeks, I've actually seen several inquiries on what to do if you want to remove your child from public school right now in the middle of the year. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple things you should consider doing. And one is you need to notify your superintendent, and it's very polite to let your student's principal and teacher know that you're going to be withdrawing to homeschool. And then next, go ahead and prepare your initial letter of intent to homeschool form. And make a copy of that because you want to keep that in your records. And then either hand carry that to the superintendent's office, or what we like to do is we would mail it, but we'd mail it certified mail so then we know that it was received. And so when withdrawing from the public school, you do have 15 days to provide the initial letter of intent. But it's best to submit it as soon as possible, because if a child is absent from school for more than 7 days, they're considered truant. And we don't want to get the truancy wheel set in motion. So, and one more thing to consider is if your student is younger than 7 years and currently enrolled in kindergarten, and you want to pull them from public school, you can let the superintendent know you are withdrawing for what the law calls good cause, and homeschooling fulfills that good cause requirement. And then when your student turns 7 the following year on or before October 1st, then you can just file your initial intent to homeschool form at that time. And then one other thing I was thinking about was we often see on Facebook moms that are getting these notices that it's time to let us know if you're going to do the early childhood screening, and it's mandatory. So if you don't want to enroll in the early childhood screening, the notice will say that you have to conscientiously object and sign it and send it in. But the mandatory really only applies to public school students, not homeschooled. So all we need to do is respond politely and say, you know what, we're going to be homeschooling. We're not interested in the early childhood screening. You do not need to sign a conscientious objection form for that. And just be polite and firm. You may have to do it more than once, I hear, because they keep bothering you, but just to let you know that you don't have to do that. So anyways,
politeness is golden.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so quick shout out. So this is our first time, so it's like, yay. So hey, Karen, Jim, and Sheila, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
We're going for 2, so we have 3.
Yeah,
yes.
great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So Molly, with the annual forms, that reporting forms that you need to fill out, So, they're on the MACHE website. I can find them, but let's say I just, I'm maybe not so sure if I'm doing it correctly. So where can I go for help to fill it out if I need it?
Well, we at MACHE would love to help you. So you can, ask your questions at info@mache.org. And then even this Facebook group that we're on, we'd love to answer questions there, and private message one of us if you want to. That's fine too.
Yes.
We're here to help you.
We are. And if it goes to Facebook, I don't know the answer. I just go to info@mache myself and ask them.
Exactly.
So we'll get you the answer no matter what.
Yes, definitely.
So that's the best part. So if I'm pulling my children, are there certain subjects that I'm required to teach?
Yeah, that's a good question too. There are certain subjects we are required to teach, and they are reading, writing, literature, fine arts, math, science, history, government, economics, citizenship, health, and physical education. But there is no specific requirement in the Minnesota law for how often we have to teach each of these subjects or at what level. So there is quite a bit of flexibility there. But I would say when you're trying to determine which courses to include in your students' high school years, you should really consider the college admission requirements of whatever college they're looking at. Community college, tech school, four-year, university, they're all different. So, and I just feel like, we want to prepare our kids as best we can. And maybe they'll change their mind in junior high but they've said, well, I don't want to go to college, but they can change their mind. So
they do. My junior at home right now has changed her mind. So it happens.
It does. Yeah. So we just want to prepare them as best we can. And we'd also like to encourage you guys too, with this area of subjects to be taught and curriculum and methods, how it seems kind of overwhelming, but we would encourage you to attend the MACHE convention, which is held annually. So the next one coming up is April 17th and 18th in Rochester, and we are so excited about that one.
We are. 2 more months, you guys.
Yes.
It's going to go quickly.
So there's going to be workshops on beginning homeschooling, and that will cover curriculum, learning styles, scheduling. There's going to be some on high school. And there's just a gamut of topics. I mean, I know there's someone who's really interested in teaching math. Other subjects will be discussed. There's over 30 workshops, 30 speakers. And listen to this, the exhibit hall is going to be full of over 100. We don't have the exact number, but that's exciting too.
We could find it for you, but that would take time away from this valuable.
Exactly.
And honestly, we're not sure if we go to another website if you'll lose us. So let's be honest.
Yeah, let's not try that.
We have a lot of exhibitors who come and take their time to talk with you and answer questions. And it's just fantastic because you can see the curriculum, touch it, feel it, ask questions. And the exhibit hall is awesome.
And, we would encourage you too, if you do get that kind of personal response from the exhibitors, try and buy from them, because it's hard for them to make this effort to get here. It's expensive, and we want them to come back because there's nothing like actually seeing the curriculum. I just have to say, I don't know what I would have done all the years without MACHE Convention. It was just a shot in the arm for me to keep going each April, so I would just highly encourage you to somehow make an effort to get there. And Ruth, you have some exciting news.
Oh, I do. But first, can I share my thought before the
go ahead.
Okay. So the rock wall is coming back. So the Army's bringing the rock wall.
Yes. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, and it's free with your price of admission. So
climbing wall, how fun.
It is. Molly and I are considering doing,
maybe do it this year.
Yes. Or I thought we could do our minutes from MACHE.
Oh, there you go.
But,
let's try
we'll see. We'll see how this one goes and see if we can actually be higher up in the air.
Yeah.
But I do have exciting news. So Grand Canyon University from Arizona is going to be sponsoring some conference registrations and giveaways. And so we're going to do one conference registration giveaway a week in the month of March. So it's going to equal 5 of them for people who haven't registered. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, that is exciting.
So stay tuned to Facebook. We will be posting more about that. But hey, to get a chance at a free registration.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So thank you, Grand Canyon University.
Yes, thank you so much. And I was going to say too, if you can't attend the MACHE convention, there's audios you can purchase of all of the speakers. And also MACHE has traveling workshops, and they go around the state. Teachers Chris Cox and Sherry Frame, they're just so excellent, foundational truths, and Sherry goes through the high school. And the next one of those on the calendar is May 16th, and it's in Fergus Falls. So sign up for that if you're in that area, or you can actually request to have one of these workshops come to your area. Just email it, info@mache.org. So,
and we really do want to come and meet your needs. So it's great that
yes.
Sherry and Chris do a phenomenal job. With Chris, if you're just starting out beginning homeschooling and you have those questions and the anxiety, and she answers those questions, and Sherry, and let's face it, like homeschooling through high school can be scary, and she just equips you that you can do it. So, so there's one coming up in the May, but contact Mache. We just had 3 the month of February, so we would love to come to your area and encourage and support you.
Take us up on that.
Yeah, and so we have a quick comment. This is so cool. Our comment. A tip from Karen. We also have a convention Facebook page. So I think you can find, I should know this as Ms. J's social media manager.
Yes, you should.
But just in Facebook, put on Mache Convention, and we have a group for people who want to learn more about the Mache Convention and also connect with our exhibitors. We have a lot of exhibitors on there, and they've been offering some discounts already.
You can get a preview of the discounts.
Yeah, so join that. We'd love to have you. We have the speakers on there, so you can ask them questions. We like to put up tidbits when we find out interesting things, because I don't know about anyone else. I kind of like behind the scenes info.
Yes,
so
it's fun.
Why I'm on the board.
No. There you go.
No, it isn't. I want to serve. So, but it is fun to get the behind the scenes info. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you, Karen, for that tip. We appreciate that.
Okay. So what else would we?
Oh, okay. Another question. Is there a certain amount of days I need to homeschool per year?
Ooh, that's a good question too. Schedules vary on how many days, and there is no legal requirement on the number of days you need to homeschool. I mean, like some families like to homeschool year round, and then they take a few weeks off every like 8 to 10 weeks, take a couple weeks off. Others like to go by the public school calendar, so they can be on similar schedules as their public school friends. And then other families are creative and fine-tune their schedules to meet their specific needs. So it's just the beauty of homeschooling is the flexibility, and like we were saying, freedom. Yes. So
big time.
Yes.
Our family followed the public school schedule because that's what I had to do, and just it morphed into our fitting to what worked best for our family.
Yes.
Especially taking more time off at Christmas. I don't know, visiting the grandparents in Arizona in February. Things like that. Important
freedom to travel when it works, and bring your schoolwork with if you want, or take the time off. So that's amazing.
Not saying we did it all the time.
Yeah,
but we did bring it. Yes. And hi to Lori and Wendy. You joined us. Thank you guys for coming.
Okay.
So another one is, do we have an annual testing requirement in Minnesota?
Yes, we do. And according to Minnesota law, you're required to administer or have your child take a nationally standardized achievement test each year. But you are not required to give the results out to the district. So you should keep the test results in your records. And then there is one other thing to consider. If your child should score at or below the 30th percentile on the total battery of score of the test, you are required to obtain additional evaluation to determine if the child has learning problems. And we would want to do that. We would want to see, what would be the reason for this. So, yeah, it makes sense.
We do, as parents, we would want to know what's going on. And so I have to say, like one of our daughters, we have 3 daughters, and one did fall 1 year below the 30th percentile, and it was mainly because of reading, and God just worked it all out. It was just so cool that there was a man in our church that was going through his master's, and he needed someone to practice with on reading, and so we had her practice her reading with him, and next year was just back up there.
Wonderful.
So it's not as scary as it seems when you read that line about how you need extra. It's finding the help that they need, and you're going to do that anyhow.
Yeah, and people just worry they have to give that result to someone, but no, you do not have to. So home educated students between the ages of 7 and 16 are to be tested yearly, but that requirement stops when the home educated student turns 16 years old. Unless they just began homeschooling at age 16, then that's a little different requirement. But otherwise, one thing to note is if you are registered with an organization that is a recognized Minnesota Accrediting Association, you are not required to test your students. So anyways, we can talk about different tests that we can use. And one popular test is the California Achievement Test.
Yes.
It's inexpensive and quite easy to administer. So for places to order this CAT test, here you can check out mache.org again, because under the tab resources, there's a list of testing resources, and you can go there, find a whole variety of tests you can use, and then places to purchase those tests, and testing administrators that are available, and those are up to date and current. So hope that's really helpful for you guys.
I think it will be.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is a really neat link to look out. So check that out on the MACHE website, especially when you don't know where to go. And
Yeah.
my pal Molly and Eileen were the ones who worked on all those calling people. So
Eileen did a lot
current
for that one,
yeah.
so we were very appreciative of that.
They are current, so
yeah,
please make use of that. We would love
absolutely. So let's see.
Okay, how about, also before I ask my next question, so just to let you guys know, if you have any questions, like please type them in, and I'm really working hard to pay attention to that, and then we'll ask Molly those questions. So if you have any questions, please ask. So it's not just me asking questions, but I have some that have been prepared for me.
Yes.
So, so the next one is, what records would I need to keep?
Okay, yeah, records. Well, the Minnesota law requires that you keep records showing that the required subjects we talked about just a few minutes ago are being taught, and then proof that the tests required have been administered. So those are the yearly achievement tests, and you want to keep those too. So things you should include are class schedules, copies of materials used for instruction, and descriptions of the methods used to assess student achievement. We also recommend that you keep records of attendance, information on the textbooks and workbooks that you used, and student work samples. It's best to maintain these records for at least 3 years. Yeah. And if high school years, you want to keep them for 4 years. And then in addition to the items we already talked about recording, you should prepare a transcript for middle school and high school students.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So I have a couple things on that. So knowing that it's 3 years is very freeing. I'm just starting, because our youngest is a junior, I'm just starting to throw things out. So I'm starting to like recycle, because sometimes another homeschool family can use it. Sometimes things are recycled in the recycle bin because it's just, they are. So I'm just getting rid of that. So I like that tip of 3 years. That gives me freedom. That I don't need to save everything. And then when you talk about transcripts, Molly, what I like also, as a MACHE member, we offer a transcript service on the website.
Yes, that is so amazing. Yeah, I wish I would have had that.
Yeah.
Oh,
does the math for you.
Trying to figure that stuff out.
All the cumulative grade point average. Yeah, so it does the math for you, you guys, which is just wonderful. So as a member, you log in, you go to the member page and click on the transcript, and you just put in your subjects and the grade, and it does all the math. It's just so amazing, wonderful, and it looks professional,
and it's worth the $45 membership.
It is.
Just that alone is worth it. But we have more things we offer too. But I would pay $45.
It's worth the stress.
Oh my goodness,
it is worth the stress.
Yes. So, anyways, I think we're finishing up here. We've discussed several of the more important aspects of homeschooling: the initial letter of intent, the subsequent years, and then you have to file to continue to homeschool, the subjects you should teach, the number of days necessary, testing, and record keeping. So we thought it would be fun to just do some tips for homeschool families, you know, just to encourage you guys. And I guess the one I first thought of was pray. You know, we really need to be praying and asking God to direct your family and direct your homeschool. And don't compare it with others. Just learn from other homeschoolers, but don't compare it, because we're all unique and each homeschool is unique. And I would follow that with, you know, be patient with yourself, especially if you're just starting out and taking your kids out of public school. You know, it's going to be an adjustment, and let yourselves adjust and be patient with each other. So those are a couple things I thought of right away. But.
Agree. I have to admit, like, prayer, sometimes it just should be the easiest thing and the first thing, and we'll get caught up in the day and the hardness of it, and I will forget. So like, praying is huge. So best thing ever. And the comparing, yes, it's so easy that we compare to other people and what they're doing, but you know, like, learn from other homeschoolers, take something that they're doing and use it, and then other stuff you don't
not fit.
And that's okay.
And it's fine.
It's what's best for your
family. And you'll buy curriculum that you thought you really wanted, but it doesn't work, and so it's like, don't try to make it work. Just give it away, or, you know, sell it at a curriculum fair or whatever. But
what works for one child doesn't work for the other. I found that out.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And I would just like to say too, take opportunities to do delight study and regain the wonder of learning, because you know, your kids could have become discouraged and bored from their previous school experience, but you can just put new life into that. And we want our kids to love to learn the entire life, and you know, just try and get that wonder back and pick topics they would like to study. And another thing that I wish I would have done more of, maybe you did this, but incorporate learning games. I mean, Chris Cox is so good about giving you ideas for that. and then do some fun field trips and allow them to be curious and explore new places and ideas. Yeah, so it can just be so much fun.
And read. Sit down and read together.
Yes.
And find out what they like to read,
right.
too. So.
Yes, the read aloud times were precious times, too. And as parents, you know, we encourage you to read, too. I mean, read up on homeschooling, get energized yourself to know how you want your homeschool to be. There's so much available out there. So anyways, yeah. What else?
Except for, you know, it was our first one.
I know. We got through it.
Yes.
One thing we want to do, lastly, encourage you is partner with us at MACHE. Let us walk alongside you and encourage you on your homeschool journey. That's what we're here for. And yeah,
we do. We understand what the first years are like, and it's hard to navigate, and we want to come alongside of you. There's a lot of information out there, so we want to be a place where you can ask questions and find out what you need to know.
Amen to that. And we do provide resources that are tried and true, and we don't. Sometimes you wonder, well, is this going to be good? But you know, our exhibit hall, it's been vetted, and you can come and enjoy it. We want to bless you with a quarterly magazine that's just amazing, filled with encouragement and vital information. And we have input from homeschool leaders across the country in our little magazine. So it is very good and very encouraging.
Super helpful. And part of when you partner with MACHE, you receive a discount on the MACHE conference. So
yes.
If you're not a member now and you wanted to go to the conference, you know, become a member, and I think you save 20%. So I mean, it's helpful.
Yes.
More money to buy a curriculum.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, there's a key.
And reading books.
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, and then you also will save money on the MACHE store. So we, from past conferences, have workshops. So if you were at a workshop and you remembered something that Vicki Bentley talked about a couple years ago,
yes.
and about leadership or beginning homeschooling, and you thought, I just wish I could listen to it again. We have all the audios on our store, and so you can go back and get an MP3 and listen to it and just get that dose of encouragement.
How much is just one audio?
Ooh, okay, so don't quote us on this.
It's
so
not
I think
much.
it's $4 or $4.50.
So worth it.
Yeah, this is where we need to bring Doyle in.
Yeah,
we're gonna have these key people listening. Yes, we can find out for you later, but we think it's between $4 and $4.50.
But well worth it.
It is.
To just get that encouragement. A lot of folks aren't aware that we actually provide 5 free streaming audios on a variety of subjects, and those are changed on a quarterly basis. So that's another amazing resource that you get for free.
Yes, for free. Yeah. So I think it's like an $80 value. So if you're doing the $45 membership, you get the transcript service, which is worth it.
Yeah, because it's in a year.
Yeah,
so that would be $80. Yeah.
So,
So anyways.
So we understand the fears and the anxiety you face over parental rights and for freedom. And so we are also here to partner with you to protect your legislative rights. And so just what's really cool is just talking to our Executive Director, David Watkins, and then also our volunteer, Julie Johnson. She volunteers as our legislative liaison. They were just down in the Capitol on Monday and talking to legislators and just letting them know we want our homeschool freedoms and building relationships.
So thankful for them.
Yeah, so MACHE does that too. So so when you partner with us, you know, you are helping us go down and chat with people at the Capitol. So thank you.
Exactly.
This is not scripted. But actually, our MACHE Capital Day is next Wednesday.
That's important.
Yeah, March 4th, and it's free. Anyone can come. You don't have to be a member. Homeschooling, starting homeschooling, finished homeschooling. Come and let your voice be heard. And so we would love to fill the Capitol Rotunda with homeschoolers. It starts at 9 o'clock in the morning. We're going to have some special speakers. It's going to be great. There's a Capitol tour at 2.
Oh, but that's always so fun too.
Yeah, it is. But that you need to register for early. And I can't remember if it's legislative at mache.org. You'd have to. But we have on our Facebook page the Capitol Day event. So please go there, and it has all the information. But we would love to see you at that. It's an important day, next Wednesday. So.
Great. Glad you thought of that. So anyways, would you like to join with us for a small yearly fee? And together we can be strong. So check out mache.org, membership, and join today. Yeah.
Thank you.
So
we did our first one.
Much for listening.
Yes. Thank you for coming.
And if there was anything helpful in this, please put #helpful if you can. Let us know. And like Ruth said, let us know if there's any topics you would like to see covered in Facebook Live. Minutes with MACHE.
Yes, because we're hoping to do an episode 2 at some point.
Yes.
Yes. Molly.
Episode 2.
Yeah, episode 2. Molly's going to do it at the Rochester Civic Center when they have their pre-con meeting, and they get to kind of see behind the scenes and set up. And
Yeah,
Molly thinks she's
convention.
going to do that. Yeah,
Yay.
yeah. So
It's coming around the corner.
yeah, 2 more months.
Yeah.
So
Hope to see you guys
yes,
there.
thank you guys for joining us today, and have a great day. Okay, bye-bye.